You have to see this. Trump's events are getting crazier and crazier as he becomes more desperate given the state of this race. And at his most recent, there was something he said that is so indicative of his own, use a term, I don't know, there are a lot. Delusion, desperation, dishonesty, it could be, but it's just so out of pocket. It seems like a strange thing for him to say, and I'll play that for you. To give you a sense of the vibe in this event, though, and then we'll go through a few clips. The crowd, Fox News, this is from the Hannity Fox News town hall from last night, and they pumped in some hardcore Trump supporters into this crowd so they would cheer aggressively for Trump. At a lot of events, we've been talking about how quiet and bored the crowd gets, so here they got them to cheer hard, and they would even cheer at things like this.
To go away. The world is blowing up. The world is blowing up.
The world is blowing up. Okay. And so you can see the energy, the crowd at multiple moments, really about everything, would explode into laughter and applause and cheers. But then you have Trump saying this. And really, let's take a second after watching to think about the concerning nature of him asserting this.
I'll say something else
real quick because we got a break.
If you watch that interview, she had notes. That means she knew the questions, and she had notes. She kept looking down, up. Nobody wants to cover it. I know all about notes. I mean, it's all right if people know that, but she wasn't supposed to have notes. So she's asked a question. She looks down. She keeps. She had notes. That means she knew that. She knew what was happening.
Did her campaign?
What is happening? You see how frantic he is? Now, I know what you're thinking. All right, well, yeah, he does seem a little bit just strange there. But if she had notes, then maybe he's making a perfectly fine point. Why would you have notes for an interview? But he made this up. You can split screen to this, Jade. Look at this wide shot from the interview. 2 seconds, CNN, YouTube, pulled up the interview, boom. 2 seconds, any person can fact check this. Dana Bash has notes because she's the interviewer. She has to have her questions written down. But Kamala Harris has nothing in front of her, nothing. Not even a cup of coffee. Only Dana Bash gets a cup of anything. He's making it up completely. Either scary that his brain so badly wanted to justify believing her interview didn't go as well as it did by making up an image in that head, or he's such a liar, as we know, that he would say this thinking his followers won't go check. Look at this. Any person. And then we can skip around to another wide shot as she's talking. And let's see, no notes. Now, here's what I think. You know how we talk about with MAGA's attacks against Kamala Harris, how even though they're vile and thus you don't really want them to keep doing them, in a sense, it's like, all right, go with that. It's going to hurt you in your campaign because no one resonates with what you're saying, and it makes me more confident that you really don't have good lines of attack if you have to go after her on these personal things. A similar thing here where, thanks, Trump, you're being really complimentary. You thought she did so well, according to you, not me, you. You think she did so well that in your collapsing, melting, mushy brain, it had to be because she got the questions ahead of time. Because you could not imagine being able to comprehensively answer questions in a way that doesn't just go right back to your repetitive, they're coming from jails, they're coming from insane asylums, talking points that are so basic, you think a second grader wrote them out. So thank you. Because apparently that's how well the interview went, according to Trump. Next moment, he's very upset that anyone would call him weird.
Let me play Kamala.
There's something weird with that guy. He's a weird guy.
This is about Tim Walz, by the way. And the crowd, just hysterical. Yeah, this is so funny.
Let me play Kamala.
There's something weird with that guy. He's a weird guy. JD is not weird. He's a...
Who's making that noise? Yee. There's some. It's not even a laugh. What is that?
There's something weird with that guy. He's a weird guy. JD is not weird. He's a solid rock. I happen to be a very solid rock. We're not weird. We're other things perhaps, but we're not weird. But he is a weird guy. He walks on the stage. There's something wrong with that guy. And he called me weird. And then the fake news media picks it up. That was the word of the day. Weird, weird, weird. They're all going... But we're not weird guys. We're very solid people that want our country to be great again. I mean, it's very simple.
This producer Jaden said when we were watching some of these clips, it sounds like there's a laugh track or something. Not that there is. It's a real crowd. But they're being so overblown in their reactions. I'm not weird. They're weird. That it just doesn't seem natural. And the thing that Trump is saying is weird about Tim Walz is the very type of criticism that makes us say that you're weird. And I know some people don't like that term because it simplifies and it reduces what is such a massive, important set of criticisms about Trump. But on a personal level, you think it's weird that Kamala Harris laughs, which is what we're saying is a weird criticism. You think it's weird that Tim Walz walks out and goes very excitedly? That's strange. Joy shouldn't make you uncomfortable. Joy is joyful. It's good. And so he sort of proves the point there. And he just got done saying, at least in the order I played you these clips, a fake made-up thing about Kamala Harris having notes when she didn't, accidentally proving that he thought the interview went well, because if it didn't, you wouldn't have to make up lies like that. That's strange. It's strange to either make that up in your head or to lie about that knowing it could be disproven in about 2 seconds. That's bizarre. That's strange. That's, yes, weird. That's what we're talking about, Trump. And then he goes, we're solid as a rock. Nope, that's not what he said. That's what he should have said. He said we're solid rocks. Okay. Next clip. I was gonna make a joke, and I said, you know what? Not today, Satan.
Although a friend of mine said, you shouldn't have done the interview. He's not going to make it. And you know what? He didn't make it. You know, think of this. It's very unfair in a lot of ways. I complain about it, but she ran against him in the primary. She got no votes, and she was the first to leave. 22 people or something like that. And she dropped. She was down to nothing, never even made Iowa. And he got 14 million votes, and they threw him out. They said, we want you out. And he wasn't going to win, I don't think. I mean, I don't think he was going to win, but we did a good debate. We had a good debate, and it was a fair debate. And he was down like 18 or 19 points after the debate.
I'm pretty sure last time he made this point, it was 12 or 13 points. He just keeps going up and up.
And he was down like 18 or 19 points after the debate. And I hate mosquitoes. I'm surprised I didn't think we had. We don't like those mosquitoes running around. We want nothing to do with them. And we want nothing to do with bad politicians that hate our country, too. You want to know the truth.
You don't get better than that segue, huh? This mosquito's attacking me like we're going to attack high prescription drug prices. He can't get off the Biden thing. You're not running against Biden anymore, okay? It's over. He broke up with you. You're not going to get back. You are never, ever, ever getting back together. It's over, Donnie. You're running against Kamala Harris now. No one actually cares about this thing. He even admitted that he used the term complaining. He said, I've been complaining about the fact that Joe Biden dropped out. Yeah. Hate to use it again. It's weird that you keep doing that. Because before he dropped out, when the prospect of you running against Kamala Harris instead came up, you said, oh, it'd probably be even easier to beat her. You said that she's so unpopular, no one likes her. Well, you're barreling towards losing to someone that apparently no one likes. So what does that say about you, sir? If you believe the information delivered on this show is valuable and you want to support in an easy, free way the work that we do, you can do it by clicking that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Back to the video. Then he said this.
But you know, I wanted to say it so much during my term. We went 4 years without any blow-ups. We had no World Trade Center blow-up. We had no radical Islamic terror. We had no radical Islamic terror.
You know, have you ever been having just one of those days and it feels like you're not being seen enough, heard enough, felt enough? Imagine if you could just click a button and everything you say has the reaction of this crowd. Ooh, that could really make your day better. All he's asserting, or all he's celebrating, is that he went 4 years without quote unquote World Trade Center blow-ups. It's just a bizarre way to make the point. He also said he was going to get us out of a war, but we'll say conveniently scheduled the pullout for after he would be out of office if he lost his first term. Then attacked Biden for doing the best with the plan that was set, and then alterations of it to actually follow through on something that Trump failed to do. And so there weren't any conflicts around the world, nothing was going wrong thing, even on that issue and many others that we've discussed before, is wrong. Is just wrong. I meant to include in this next clip or in response to it, this compilation I came across. When you hear what he said here, remember that he said this exact thing about hundreds of subjects.
The one program I hated to upgrade, hated it, was the nuclear program. And I understand it maybe better than anybody. My uncle was at MIT, a professor, the longest serving professor in the history of MIT. A very smart guy. We have a smart family. It's nice to have a smart family. But I understood nuclear for a long time.
Remember last time he mentioned how smart his uncle was? It was right before he launched into that electrocution thing. He said, "No one's ever thought this. Maybe it's because I'm smart. MIT, my relationship to MIT, very smart." Just, if any kiddos are watching this show, you probably shouldn't. It's just, don't stress yourself out with this too early, gosh. But if you're thinking about how to operate yourself in the world, you know what? Maybe adults need this advice. Even if you believe yourself to be smart, I promise never, ever is it the better option to say that, right? Show that you're smart. Don't tell people that you're smart. Because probably 99 or 100% of people who say, "I'm a really smart person," aren't. Okay? And one of the people as a part of that percentage is Trump, for sure. Because he keeps... Who does that, by the way? When making a point, I know a lot about nuclear weapons as shown by my uncle's profession in MIT that had nothing to do with nuclear weapons. What? He's just an insecure guy, I guess. And then at the end, you have this.
All right, now, so unlike Kamala Harris, our time is actually up. However, we're going to...
What? Unlike Kamala Harris, our time is actually up? I have no clue what that means.
All right, now, so unlike Kamala Harris, our time is actually up. However, we're going to let Dave McCormick ask the first question, and we're going to air that not tonight, but tomorrow night.
He always does this, you know.
I do.
Says, our time's up, but you know what? Let's make 2 shows out of it.
All right. More with former President Trump as we continue. We are in the all-important state of Pennsylvania and Harrisburg. Thank you for being with us.
By the way, there were moments how do I say this properly? Why would you want this? You sit down, you had a tough day at work, you tune into Fox News. What's so exciting? There's so much energy. What's so exciting about hearing Trump just say the same things over and over, and Hannity just salivate over it? Wouldn't you want, like the CNN interview, for example? And I mean in an interview. I get why speeches are often similar-ish. It's just rallying. But for an interview, at the CNN interview, there were actually all these things that at a rally you would never hear brought up. Like the policy changes from Kamala Harris. She was confronted about that. Tim Walz's, the attacks against him were brought up by Dana Bash. And then they were pressed on it. So there was this opportunity to see something you don't get to see. That's sort of why interviews are often interesting. What did you get to see that you don't normally? Him freaking out over being called weird? Or making a fake claim about Kamala Harris's interview? Why would you be so pumped to watch that? I don't know. As a fan, I mean. It's very weird. Let me know what you thought of that in the comments. And if you want to support this show, you can do it by clicking the join button below.